This episode is sponsored by ExpressVPN and Stitch Fix.
At the start of every new year, tech companies big and small, foreign and domestic, converge in ice-cold Las Vegas to give everyone a glimpse into the near future. That's never a very accurate glimpse, though, because, how can it be? Previous years have promised a mainstream adoption of drones, VR, Steam boxes, and other such gadgets that never really ended up happening.
Or catching on in a very big way.
But it's fun to see what the tech world thinks is happening next, and that's what CES is all about. It's still mostly just TVs, phones, and laptops, but it's also where some truly weird ideas get shown off. This week's CES 2020 has a lot to cover, so let's just dive right in.
Yeah, this year specifically was like looking very forward to the future and coming up with ideas that things that aren't going to exist for a little while.
Which is good, because the past couple of years have been just like, this is dumb, cancel it, shut it down.
Yeah, it's mostly just new TVs. And
yeah.
I don't know, maybe we just paid more attention to it this year. I don't know. But anyways, interesting stuff. And first off, one of the more interesting stories to come out of last year's CES was the convention's puritanical prudishness with regards to personal feminine products, dildos and vibrators. Last year, in the lead up to CES, sex toy company Lora DiCarlo received a CES Innovation in Robotics Award for their high-tech Oze vibrator, which is apparently quite good and legitimately an achievement in vibrator technology. But then, just before the actual convention, the CTA who runs CES not only revoked the award, but also banned them from even exhibiting on the show floor, on the grounds that their product violated their rules on products that are immoral, obscene, indecent, profane, or not in keeping with CTA's image.
They also claimed that it didn't fit into any of their existing categories, despite the fact that multiple judges, including experts in robotics, had chosen it as the winner in that category. Very lame.
Yes.
But this year, the CTA seems to have done a full 180 on sex tech, and Lora DiCarlo is not only back at CES, but they debuted two new products that have both received CES Innovation Awards. Other female sex toys also showed up on the show floor. But what about men?
Yeah!
Well, good news, boys. This guy here, Jeff Bennett, would like to tell you about his product, the Morari. It's an adhesive patch for your taint that uses electrodes to prevent ejaculation and let you go all night.
Wow. Basically, Morari uses the same technology sometimes used to relieve muscle pain to instead confuse the nerves in your dick and balls into, not shooting until you want to. Or rather, your partner, because the idea is for your partner to be in control of that nuclear button.
She's got the launch codes.
Either it's in an app or on a wearable. Wearable probably way easier when you're in the action.
Voice control, that's how you do it.
Yeah, you have to have, it's the opposite of a safe word.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's still in the early stages, and the prototype is basically a single-use Band-Aid that will make you probably want to shave your taint before using, unless you like paint.
Manscaped.com, code Newsday, shave your taint.
Hey, there you go. Though Jeff Bennett says that won't be necessary because despite looking like a bandage, it uses an adhesive gel that won't pull hair. That's a good innovation. It is, however, it's still a product that shoots electricity into your taint. But hey, if it works, it works. It's going to make the bedroom a lot more interesting for people out there.
Turn it off!
The voice command thing, if Jeff Bennett, if you're listening, if you've SEO'd your way to this video, voice control is the way to go.
Rosebud.
No one's going to want to get on their phone during the act.
Yeah.
A touchable thing like a wearable, that maybe.
Yeah.
I think voice control is the way to go.
Yeah, and as soon as this comes out, someone's definitely going to take things too far.
Yeah.
They're going to give themselves an erection that lasts more than
4 hours.
4 hours. And
Activate Sting protocol.
Yeah, it's going to be bad.
Yeah.
But,
you have to work yourself up to Sting's level.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just jump straight into it.
Yeah, that's S tier. Right
You're going to have a heart attack or something.
Yeah. But very cool.
It's cool, yeah.
Nice to see some products for men for once.
We've only had the fleshlight up until now.
But while CES is now totally cool with the sex tech, they've now shifted their prudishness to a new target, weed.
Dank.
Keep is an unassuming little box that looks like a minimalist alarm clock, but is actually a high-tech cannabis storage solution for responsible adults who don't want their kids getting into their stash.
Oh, cool.
It keeps your buds and edibles and vapes nicely stored and organized, and even keeps track of the weight.
Narc, your kids are going to get into this. Hold on.
Yeah.
There is 0.08 grams missing from this.
It only opens via facial recognition or an app, though, so your kid's probably not getting in there. Although...
Now you hold up a picture of your dad's face.
Yeah, they always find a way.
Yeah.
It also sends notifications to your phone if the box is being moved or tampered with.
It's a narc box.
Yeah, but like the good kind of narc.
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I like this.
I think it's great.
Good.
I think it's great.
They're promoting responsible cannabis use by adults who don't want their kids, that one puff's all it takes.
Yeah.
Boom. Then you're hooked on heroin.
But they're going to go too far with the narking thing, and they're going to make it like there's going to be an app attachment where it only lets you open the box once your kids are asleep.
Yeah.
There's like a sensor in your kid's room which is just like, all right, fine. You've earned it.
You can't open the box, sir. The children are awake.
They are awake and they will smell the cannabis.
Yeah.
It seems pretty practical and great overall. And with cannabis legal in most of the country now, including Nevada, where CES is held, you would think that this wouldn't be a big deal. But no. Even after featuring Keep as an official CES Innovation Award honoree, Keep Labs was told that their exhibit at CES couldn't mention cannabis nor show cannabis or any related paraphernalia. This is despite even CES's awards website page for Keep mentioning cannabis throughout. So as a matter of principle, Keep Labs opted to just not exhibit at all because, come on. They have to wait it out just like the sex toys? All right, listen, we got to tell you no for a year. And then it'll all cool off, and you can come back next year and show off your weed lockbox.
Like they're asking them to like the old days where you'd go into a head shop and be like, I'm looking for like a water pipe to smoke tobacco out of.
Yes.
And if you even mentioned weed, they'd be like, get the fuck out.
Gotta get out of here.
Come on.
Anyways, like, the whole Lora DiCarlo fiasco last year, this is almost certainly going to be allowed next year, and definitely has provided a lot more publicity for the product than it would have otherwise.
Yeah,
so
it's a smart move. Like,
things have gone according to plan for
banned from CES. That's a great marketing
They're
play.
just going to have to, the name is too close to that hair loss product.
Keeps?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
So you got to back to the drawing board with the name.
Well, but the hair loss products...
I think Narcbox is great.
Hair loss products, you don't want your kids getting into that either.
Yeah.
It's dangerous.
Yeah, the kid's like Bart with his minoxidil in that episode. You're going to grow a big beard.
Yeah, you don't want that to happen. Anyways, for the last few years, car companies have become more and more of a presence at CES because cars are increasingly just computers with wheels.
Yeah.
And if and when full autonomy happens, you're going to want to be comfortable and entertained while Jesus takes the wheel. Mercedes showed up this year with a concept car inspired by the Avatar movies, which, like most concept cars, is quite silly looking and boasts a bunch of features that it can't actually do. Full autonomy via some sort of symbiotic relationship with the driver.
You have to plug your dick into the hair, into the hair strand. Yeah,
I'm sure that was the first draft.
Yeah.
It literally doesn't have a steering wheel. There's also like an infotainment system controlled by projectors and gestures, and the ability to drive sideways like a crab.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but the car can't actually do it. They're just like, in the concept, the car can.
That way you
move
can
in all directions.
View all of the beautiful settings around you on your daily commute that you are missing all the other times.
Yeah, or be Batman in the game Arkham Knight.
Yeah.
In that stupid car that they put in that game.
They're like, there's over 100 gestures that you can do in this entertainment system, but every single one of them results in the movie Avatar playing.
Yeah.
No matter what gesture you do, it's like, oh, you want to watch Avatar?
Oh,
great, here you go. Good news.
There's only one of them so far. There's a bunch coming down the road.
Yeah, this will be patched.
To be the one and only Avatar.
Sure. Meanwhile, Sony rolled up with their own car, which is surprising because, as you're probably aware, Sony isn't a car company. And no, Sony isn't actually getting into the car business, but they built a concept car anyway, mainly to show off all the technology that they make, which can be used in an autonomous vehicle. The sensors, cameras, screens, infotainment, and so on and so forth. It only plays the Spider-Man movies.
Yep.
Unlike the Mercedes concept, though, everything here is actually functional. So it's kind of funny seeing a non-auto company bring a more practical auto presentation to CES than an actual car company. Unique.
Yeah, also, German auto supply company Continental teamed up with Sennheiser to show off a new concept in automotive sound for CES that's pretty wild. It's sound without speakers.
Okay.
Much like how acoustic musical instruments use resonance for sound output, this concept relies on the car itself to resonate the sound. So parts like the dashboard, the door trim, the roof lining, they do the work that a speaker normally does, which I guess saves weight and precious space.
Sure. I'll wait for their collaboration with Drop so that we can try it out.
The car looks like just a giant violin.
Yes. Yeah.
The sound in here is great. It's a Stradivarius.
Sure. One relatively simple car innovation out of CES that might actually be the most appealing, though, is the Bosch Virtual Visor. Driving with the sun in your eyes sucks. and it's also a major cause of auto accidents. So having a visor that automatically blocks the sun from your eyes, it sounds great. And in this case, it's a transparent LCD panel with a camera built in to detect when and where to darken parts of the visor to block sunlight, with the rest of the visor remaining transparent, or at least translucent. Still just an early concept, but very appealing for anyone who's ever had to go west on the 101 or the 10 at sunset.
The worst.
Yeah.
Just taking your life in your hands.
This is not a product really for the people of like Seattle.
Yeah.
Or other states where you don't get much sun, but yeah, it is extremely annoying during a certain hour-long drive if you're heading west at all.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like I still think this is too high tech. I think it should just be like a little fake hand that's just going like this in front of you, so you don't have to do it yourself.
Yeah. No, it's cool. I think it's cool though. It literally tracks where the sun is on your eyes to block it at that zone, which is, it's interesting. Obviously, still very early stages, but I could see this coming out, but I think eventually all windshields are going to have this built in.
Yeah.
So you won't even need a visor. You're not going to need speakers, no visor.
Yeah.
You're not even driving, so just look away.
Yeah.
So
just take your pants off and jack it.
You're going to be jacking all day with cars.
For Toyota's CES presentation, though, they went above and beyond just showing off car stuff. They announced that they're literally building an entire city in Japan.
Epcot.
Yeah, so most car companies working on autonomy have fake mini cities where they test their self-driving tech. But Toyota has said, fuck it, and just decided to build an actual functioning town where they can test not only self-driving tech, but also a bunch of other utopian-sounding stuff.
Yeah, it's called the Woven City, and Toyota is designing it in collaboration with architect Bjarke Ingels, with construction scheduled to start in 2021. And the whole thing will be carbon neutral, from the building materials to the electrical grid. There will be 3 types of roads for autonomous shuttles, light personal transportation, and pedestrians, which will all crisscross in a way that's just chaotic enough to train AI, but also safe enough that people don't get run over.
Yeah, you're still beta testing, though.
Yeah.
By living here, I'm sure you have to sign a few documents.
Your families will be compensated properly, don't worry.
Yeah.
There's also going to be an underground network of robot tunnels for deliveries, and homes will be equipped with the latest cutting-edge smart home tech. So literally, it's exactly what Disney wanted with Epcot. Epcot obviously turned into a theme park. They created a city outside of Epcot called Celebration, Florida, and everyone thought it was going to be the city of the future. Turns out that wasn't true. It was also built terribly because they used outside apparently a mess. So hopefully this will be run a lot better than that.
Yeah, I'm excited.
And so Toyota's on home turf here, so.
They run shit
in
back
Japan,
home.
yeah.
So the site is 175 acres and will house 2,000 people, mostly Toyota employees, but the Woven City will also be open to other companies working on similar tech.
That's cool.
I'm sure there's a lengthy application process.
Yeah.
But it's incredibly ambitious. Toyota president Akio Toyoda even compared himself to Willy Wonka while presenting it.
I'm going to murder all these children.
Did you see the whole movie, sir?
Yeah, I think that you maybe had a cursory glance at the fun parts and nothing else.
But he also described the city as his personal field of dreams. If you build it, they will come.
Did he watch that one?
I think he actually watched that one.
Okay, cool.
You do have to watch the whole thing for them to come after they build.
Yeah.
He seems pretty serious about making this a reality. The concept images look cool as hell, so hopefully this doesn't end up being just another concept that doesn't end up going anywhere, like the Epcot. Like this, urban design is it's always based around the tech you currently have. So it's cool to see experiments like this where it's based around tech that's coming. It just looks like a nice place to live. Like there's not roads everywhere.
Yeah, as long
it
as
looks like a nice place to walk around.
As long as you're down with living in a completely controlled and created, it's basically like the Truman Show, futuristic Truman Show.
All it's missing is the dome.
And there is going to be a lot of monitoring going on for sure.
Yeah, that's another thing. By living there, there's a lot. You're going to be monitored.
Everything you do.
Maybe not nefariously, but the amount of data collection going on for research purposes might be a deal breaker.
Yeah, I think this is going to end up just like literally being housing for their employees. So
I mean, that's the general concept. Yeah. But he's just like, if you have a company that wants to test out stuff, it's basically it's like a petri dish for all sorts of stuff. Like if you have home technology, anything that fits in this.
And as we all know,
open to it.
The Japanese, not really a culture known for their wanting their privacy. So this is going to work out very well for the residents of Japan.
Great stuff.
Anyways, on the smart home side of things, there was a ton of it. And none of it was really all that interesting.
Nope.
For example, people got weirdly excited about a kitchen faucet that can pour pre-measured water using voice commands.
Oh, good.
Who cares? On the conceptual side of things, though, LG gave a presentation of their vision for the home of the future that was sort of just shitty looking and kind of depressing. Everyone thinks having Jarvis in their house would be cool, but for non-superheroes, it looks like this weird, lonely experience where the person that you're spending most of your day with is an AI that's constantly trying to help you out, but mostly just being annoying.
Yeah, leave me alone.
Hey, you're looking pretty fat. Maybe I don't cook you dinner this afternoon.
Yeah,
The example they use is sleep tracking.
Yeah.
This,
go to bed. I'll be watching.
yeah, no, I'll make sure that you stay asleep.
Yeah,
You look well rested.
this
How about
is
an
just
orange juice?
so unappealing.
Yeah, it seems kind of sad, honestly.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm all for innovation. It just, the way that they portrayed it kind of seemed sad and lonely.
Yeah.
Sorry. There's lots of people out there that find this exciting, and that's fine. But again, we seem to be on the track of people realizing how much privacy we've given up over the middle part of the internet existing. And it seems like people are very eager to take back that privacy, yet every year there's new innovations that are like, well, sorry, if you want things to be ultra convenient and I want us to keep innovating, you're going to kind of have to let that go.
I don't know. Like for me, it's probably 4 or 5 years ago at this point, but when the Home Assistant thing came, I was just like, nope, I'm never gonna buy one.
Yeah.
And I know, like, obviously I have a fucking microphone in my pocket all day. Like,
But what do you want more
there's
for?
no real privacy, but like, yeah, that's just the whole Amazon Echo thing just never appealed to me, and I don't think it ever will. And
Yeah.
so all this stuff that's beyond that, I'm just like, no, why?
Me and my wife
I don't
have one.
care.
We have one, and literally its entire purpose is so that one of us in the morning can ask it what the weather is going to be like that day. And we live in Los Angeles, so the answer is always a low of 57
Yeah.
and a high of 75.
Yeah.
And it's sunny. Can you believe it?
I almost put on a sweater.
Thanks,
Wow.
machine.
Anyways, speaking of digital assistants becoming more and more human-like, Samsung debuted a project called Neon that's basically photorealistic digital avatars of real people to function as the face and body of AIs. A lot is unclear here, but it seems like they recorded a ton of footage of some actors talking and then fed this audio and video data into an AI, which allowed these people to function the same way CGI digital avatars do, which seems similar to how deepfakes work,
No.
but it's unclear, especially since apparently all the stuff they showed off at CES is simulated. In other words, it's just actual footage of people standing and talking. So I don't know. The idea seems to be that airports, doctors' offices, blah, 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 are all going to someday have interactive human avatars instead of touchscreen terminals and actual front desk employees, which, like,
It's kind of sad.
I don't know. It sounds, again sad and, like,
dystopian.
also frustrating.
It's nice to talk to humans.
Yeah.
People like it. There is a lot to be said about the like mental and emotional distress that's caused by isolation.
Well, it's also just like the idea of customer service being taken over by AIs should
Not really appealing.
I mean, like, just think about any time you've had to make a phone call at all to anyone who is not like a personal family or friend.
Yeah.
Like, it's awful. You wait. It sucks. You dealing with the menus fucking sucks. Like, do you want that when you like
Just gonna be people
are,
screaming
like,
at these
checking into a hotel
Yeah.
or like no, fuck that.
Yeah.
Pay the bare minimum that you're required by law to fucking hire a human being. It's not that hard.
It's going to be just like a bunch of other things in life where it's going to be like 30 or 40 years of going through doing this until it gets perfected and people just going, you know what, I miss actually interacting with someone.
Yeah.
As a goof, why don't we just hire a real employee and see if it helps?
I'm gonna live in one of those like novelty towns in the future. Like,
Yeah, Celebration, Florida.
My Toyota town is just gonna be like, it's gonna be the year 2050's version of like Amish.
Yeah. It's great.
Great, I'm excited.
We're excited for our future, which is leaving all this behind.
Yeah.
Now, Samsung, they also showed off Bali.
Damn it.
A little rubber ball robot similar to BB-8 that just patrols your house, acting as a mobile security camera, personal assistant, and apparently a dog companion. Though the idea that a dog wouldn't just tear this thing to pieces immediately is ridiculous.
Yeah,
Or just render it completely useless because it's going to be playing with it the whole time.
Yeah, the dog they hired for this deserves a raise because
Yeah.
that dog was way too calm with, like, if this was my dog, this thing would be in pieces immediately.
Sir, give the dog a couple Benadryl before the big reveal.
They probably did.
They might have. Now, in addition to those tasks, Bali just generally helps out. It turns on a Roomba when there's a spill, or noticing when you're doing yoga and putting footage of you on the TV to make sure you're hitting your poses right. It's a creeper bot.
Yeah, all of this stuff is creepy and unappealing, and I don't like it. I don't like it.
Go to a yoga class.
Yeah.
Be around the other people. They put goats on you and everything these days.
I don't like it. CES's bread and butter, though, is always TVs, which is weird because we've kind of reached a point where even the cheapest TVs available are more than enough for most people's needs.
Yeah.
Now, our loyal viewer, Samuel, he even wrote an article for Input this week titled, "For the love of God, don't buy an 8K TV." And he makes a pretty compelling case for why 8K resolution is a pointless benchmark. Your eye literally cannot tell the difference, and even digital IMAX is just 2K or 4K usually. Dynamic range and for gaming frame rate are way more important, and 4K TVs are constantly improving in those areas. So yeah, it's a good read. Go read Samuel's article so he gets hired for more work, please.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
We owe him. He's been modding our shit for a long time.
Go Samuel.
Read the article.
But speaking of picture quality being more important than just resolution, we mentioned Filmmaker Mode a while back, but it got an official debut at CES this week. As you'll recall, cinephiles and filmmakers have been mad at TV manufacturers for years because a lot of the helpful features that come with new TVs actually make movies look like shit. The big offender is motion smoothing, which is great for sports but makes movies look like soap operas. It's terrible.
Garbage.
And luckily, a bunch of famous filmmakers got in a room with the TV manufacturers last year to air their grievances, and the manufacturers, they actually listened.
It's the thing, Martin Scorsese, he sits down, makes you an offer that you can't refuse. You gonna say no to Martin Scorsese?
I know one guy that will.
Bob Iger.
Bob Iger.
Anyway, Filmmaker Mode is basically a set of standards agreed upon by both the filmmakers and the manufacturers for frame rates, color, aspect ratio, minus all of the post-processing that's normally kind of difficult to turn off. So now when you watch a movie, you can press a single button to ensure that you're watching it the way that it's intended to be watched. It's crazy that it took this long for this to happen.
I know.
And yeah, it sounds like in some cases the TV will even do this automatically when it detects the type of content you're
That's
watching.
cool, yeah.
So for 2020, the features will be coming to TVs from Samsung, Philips, LG, Panasonic, Vizio, and Kaleidoscope. And if you're buying a TV this year, it's probably the most important feature to look out for. Because, again, the rest of it's just fluff.
But despite Samuel's article, I guess we should at least mention a few of the ridiculous 8K TVs that appeared at CES. Like this Samsung QLED TV with infinity design, aka no bezel at all. Right, okay, there's a tiny bit of bezel at the bottom, but there's almost no edge, and it's also only 15 millimeters thick.
We did it.
Yeah, it's crazy. And also ridiculous, this other TV from Samsung that officially throws in the towel on vertical video, the tweens have won. Now there's a 43-inch TV with a motor that will literally rotate 90 degrees to display shitty vertical video on a big, beautiful screen. We got Filmmaker Mode, but we also got this, so it's basically a wash. They debuted this in Korea, and I guess it was successful enough there that they're bringing it over here now. It's just, I don't know, it's just weird. It's here's the thing, is it's allowing people to keep filming in this mode and allowing apps to keep popularizing it. Yeah.
The default mode of this TV
is vertical.
Fucked up.
Sad.
Anyway, gamers, it's time for some gaming news. First off, the best gaming news out of CES was that during AMD's presentation, they actually gave everyone the most detailed look yet at the Xbox Series X, including the ports on the back. First look ever. You got 2 HDMI ports, 2 USB-C ports, Ethernet, and what looks like optical audio. Except, well, this is awkward. Turns out this is all bullshit, and AMD actually just pulled a 3D model off of TurboSquid.com, which is a website that sells user-submitted 3D models. So that's pretty awkward, especially because, you know, they're the chip manufacturer
You'd
for
think
the console.
they'd be able to make a call.
Yeah, I don't know. I would love to see where in the line of communication this managed to slip through, because that's pretty big.
Yeah. I'm assuming it literally fell on the shoulders of the producer that was making this.
Yeah.
Who was like...
They probably kept asking for a 3D model.
All right, well, fine. I'm just going to put this one in that I found online.
Go to turbosquid.com.
Yeah.
It's going to be a quick spin, quick 360.
Nobody's going to
care. But, like, yeah, as soon as it happens, people are like,
oh, my.
Hold on, pause.
Yeah. Speaking of consoles, the Nintendo Switch is clearly the inspiration for this concept device from Alienware, which is a gaming PC crammed into a tablet with detachable side controllers and a TV dock. It's called Concept UFO, and there's currently no plans to actually release it. But it wouldn't be surprising if someone released something like this in the near future. The big catch, of course, like with the Switch, is that portable gaming comes with a lot of compromises in performance, but the idea of playing PC games on a gaming PC that can fit in a purse or a side bag or whatever, backpack, that's still pretty cool. I don't know what kind of design patents Nintendo has on that Switch, but yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of competitors coming out. When I saw this, though, I was like, this looks like Soulja Boy made it.
It does. The Soulja Switch.
It's the Soulja Switch, but it can play any Steam game.
Yeah, at 20 frames per second.
Yeah, on the lowest setting.
At 640 by 480.
It's still cool to have it portable, though, because there's a lot of Steam games that you don't really care about the graphic quality on.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you're into, like, you know,
real-time strategy.
The retro, modern gaming.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, obviously, like the Switch, if you play
The Witcher on it.
The Witcher 3 on it, it's going to look like ass.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's still impressive that they were able to make it work.
They did it.
Yeah.
In terms of actual desktop gaming PCs, look at this fucking thing. This is the MEG Aegis Ti5 from MSI, and it's a $4,000 computer that looks like a robot head. It's expensive, but good luck building something that looks like this yourself.
Yeah, it's going to sit down on the PS5, take a nice shit.
Truly a one of a kind.
Yeah.
Build this yourself. Good luck. Though, why would you want to? Meanwhile, Origin, they're going to be selling their Big O, which is a gaming PC tower that's wide and awkward on account of it having either an Xbox One or PS4 crammed inside. This is ridiculous and dumb, but I don't know. It's kind of interesting that both Microsoft and Sony are apparently down for this kind of thing, though it is important to note. It's literally just two machines attached to each other with their own power sources and HDMI outputs.
We heard you loud and clear. Crossovers.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to play PC and Xbox?
Cool, we glued them to each other.
Just wrap duct tape around them.
Yeah, I don't know who the fuck would buy this, but...
the same person that bought that giant roll of toilet paper. I want convenience at any cost.
I never want to buy toilet paper again. Or even get up.
Well, there you go. Over at Razer, despite selling gaming laptops for a few years now, they're only just now getting into desktop PCs. And the design of the Tomahawk is surprisingly tasteful compared to what we've looked at so far. It's also tiny, taking up about the same amount of space as the original Xbox One, though a little more rectangular. All of the components fit in nice and tight, but the whole thing also slides out nicely for maintenance and modifications. Now, this is all thanks to Intel's NUC system, which is basically a combined processor and motherboard with a tiny footprint. It sounds like Razer will be selling both pre-built versions as well as kit versions that allow for a lot of customization.
I like the size.
So that's good. Did they give up on phones yet? No, is this the consolation prize?
They still sell phones. And their CEO is still a fucking maniac. I don't know if we ever talked about that, but...
well, we probably have.
Yeah. I mean, I assume every tech executive's an asshole, but there was a piece on the Razer guy a few months back, and I was like, damn, this guy's an asshole. But yeah, if you're thinking that computer, the Tomahawk, is way too practical for Razer, a company most known for introducing clown lighting into everyone's home. Thankfully, they also showed off the Razer E-Racing Simulator, which is a giant rig specifically and only for driving games. It's got a racing chair, pedals, seat belts, a steering wheel, and, a giant 128-inch curved projection screen. It goes 202 degrees around the driver and is powered by 2 HD projectors.
Wow.
Of course, the seat. It tilts and moves with your action in the game.
Cool.
Fully immersive.
Yes.
Now, it's hard to say whether this is more or less absurd than Acer's Predator Thronos.
Which is still one of my favorite pieces of tech.
The gold standard in excess.
Yeah.
The Thronos definitely wins on looking ridiculous.
Yeah.
But Razer's setup is designed for racing games and nothing else. So who's to say?
This is going to fit in very well in millennials who are millionaires and have their own literal man caves.
Yeah.
A normal person cannot even fit this into their apartment.
No, this goes in the garage.
Yeah.
Yeah, this has got a bunch of fucking...
I'm single, I got a 3-bedroom apartment, and I want the fucking racing chair.
I'm 20 years old, I work for Google, I make 7 figures a year.
Yeah.
I do not own a couch, but I do own this
Why would you want to sit anywhere else? It moves. They should do a partnership with 4DX.
Yeah. You're going to want to watch movies occasionally.
Yeah. Yeah, they should do a partnership, and you get like little like smoke machines and smell-o-vision.
You watch it just alone. I mean, maybe you invite some friends over who are behind you, just like...
just cool.
Hey, can you stop?
It's going to sound great for the neighbors. Woo! Woo!
Oh, man. Home 4DX with like the rain and everything?
Yeah.
It'd be incredible.
I mean, whoever can afford this and has the space for it can certainly afford that.
There has to be a Chinese billionaire with a home 4DX system.
That's what Kim.com probably has this. Come and get it. Anyways, also in gaming, Nvidia and Asus built a gaming monitor with a 360 hertz refresh rate for some reason.
So much.
But like with 8K, it's hard to believe the human eye could even perceive the difference between 360 hertz and the 240 hertz monitors that are currently available. But we are fully confident that when 360 hertz does become available, people are going to claim they can tell the difference. And yes, to be fair, hardcore esports athletes probably will benefit from this. But 360 hertz is absolutely absurd for your average gamer, no matter what they tell you. It's built for the children that are growing up now because their eyes are all used to screens.
Yeah.
And finally, I can see what's going on.
So like that's 360 individual images per second.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. But hey, what do I know? Anyways, this is already shaping up to be one of the longest tech news days ever. But before we get to the rest of CES, it's time to talk about this week's sponsors, starting with ExpressVPN. And we all know how VPNs protect your privacy and security online, right? We've gone over that. But in addition to keeping you safe, a great thing about using a VPN is getting to watch video content that you might not be able to usually watch depending on what country you're in currently. Over the summer, Game of Thrones was ending, but I was in another country that did not have access to HBO Now.
But well within your rights to watch it, damn it, as a paying customer.
But as a ExpressVPN user, life found a way.
Yeah.
And
I did the same thing last year when I was out of the country around Christmas time. I was able to watch Netflix the way it was intended.
Yeah.
American style. Anyways, it's the ExpressVPN. It's as simple as firing up ExpressVPN and changing your location to another country. You could be anywhere.
Boom.
ExpressVPN hides your IP address and lets you control where you want sites to think you're located. If you're Jacob Wall, you could go on a trip around the world without leaving your porch. You can choose from almost 100 different countries just think of all the content that you can get access to. You love anime? Use ExpressVPN to get on Netflix Japan and be spirited away to a world of content. It's not even just Netflix. ExpressVPN works for Hulu, BBC iPlayer, YouTube, you name it.
And what sets ExpressVPN apart is how fast it is. There's no buffering or lag, and streaming in HD is no problem. And you'll probably forget that you're even using it. I turned mine on to watch one episode of Game of Thrones, and I left it on for a week without even realizing it.
Yeah.
ExpressVPN is also compatible with all your devices, your phone, media console, smart TVs, and more, so you can watch what you want on the go or on the big screen, wherever you are. Head to expressvpn.com/newsday right now to get an extra 3 months of ExpressVPN for free. Support the show, watch what you want, and protect yourself at expressvpn.com/newsday.
This episode is also sponsored by Stitch Fix. Personal style is like a fingerprint. Everyone has their own. Whatever your style, the expert stylists at Stitch Fix are ready to help you express yourself. Stitch Fix is an online personal styling service that delivers your favorite clothing brands right to your door. And to get started, go to stitchfix.com/newsday, answer some questions about your preferred style, and your personal shopper will ship you a box of clothes, shoes, and accessories.
With Stitch Fix, everyone can look their best. They have solutions for men, women, and kids all over the US and now the UK. There's no commitment required, and you only pay for what you keep. Shipping, exchanges, and returns are always free. Plus, the $20 styling fee is automatically applied towards anything you keep from your box, so you'll never have to worry about looking good again with Stitch Fix. Get started today at stitchfix.com/newsday, and you'll get an extra 25% off when you keep everything in your box. Again, that is stitchfix.com/newsday, and I just remembered I just got a Stitch Fix package that I haven't really gone through yet. So
I need to get another one.
Do that when I go home.
Yeah. All right, back to CES. After Samsung released the release of the Galaxy Fold last year, one of the biggest trends this year is obviously devices with working foldable screens.
Key distinction there.
We solved the problem. We fixed the glitch.
Screens that don't just fail immediately.
Yeah. Every time they fold a screen, it's just someone at Samsung's just like, oh, god damn it. Oh, they used our mistakes to learn.
Yep.
Anyways, Intel showed off a concept called Horseshoe Band. That's a laptop, but with one big, long screen that extends to where the keyboard would normally go. That's just a concept, but Lenovo showed off a real foldable screen laptop, as did Dell, who debuted both a single-screen foldable laptop and a two-screen laptop. And that one has a cool feature. If I'm thinking of the right one, it has a hidden magnetic keyboard. So you slide it off the bottom, and then you can slide it on, and you drop it, and it locks onto the second screen, and then it'll push all of the options, the excess options, down below the keyboard. So you have a full screen here, and then your keyboard that you type on, and then wherever you position it, you'll have access to other features.
Yeah, all these companies, they're having to, because Microsoft hasn't released the version of Windows that they showed off like a few months back that actually does all this. All of the laptop manufacturers have had to come up with their own software to basically organize stuff and not fuck it all up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting. It's nothing I would ever want or need, but
as far as I know, people these days don't use tablets and laptops as much as they once did. So I don't know. I guess college students this would be beneficial for and stuff. But
yeah, I guess. But like
everyone has screens all over their houses and shit now, and
it's just okay.
Kid, you know who loves tablets? Children.
They do.
You put Disney Plus on, throw it at the kid.
Just throw it at the kid.
Catch. Yeah, that's why it needs to be durable.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Chinese company TCL, who are mostly known for their cheap TVs, is getting in on the devices game with a foldable phone that they say will cost a lot less than Samsung's $1,500 Galaxy Fold.
I wonder why.
And in other weird multi-screen innovations, Lenovo has a new laptop that's mostly just a normal-looking laptop, except the outside surface, when closed, is an e-ink display. So basically, if you're not looking to eat up a bunch of battery power, you can use it as an e-reader or a sketch pad or run a bunch of basic Windows operations, but in monochrome, while the laptop is closed. It's not really something anyone needs, but I mean, none of this really is, and that's at least clever.
I don't understand a lot of this like tablet stuff and foldable.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a market there. I just don't see it.
Yeah. We hit a wall recently.
Yeah.
I think I have everything I want.
Well, even like my parents and my wife's parents and friends, no one really. I gave my mom a tablet years ago for Christmas. She used it like for a couple months. Yeah. But like no one that I know is using tablets in their house, or for that matter, laptops, unless they're using them for work. And like, I don't know.
Yeah, they're good for like artists and
sure.
There's like a lot of creative stuff. iPad is a surprisingly good like portable music production device.
Yeah, sure.
But like, yeah, in general, no. The average person absolutely does not need even the most basic tablet.
Well, all right.
Anyways, on to the weird and interesting CES stuff. Here's something that's going to be more exciting for our viewers who put on makeup foundation every morning, but it's still really cool. Opti is basically a small handheld inkjet printer that you slowly drag across your skin. It figures out what your natural skin tone is, and then it prints makeup in that exact skin tone over any blemishes or freckles or redness that you might have going on. The result is the same as what foundation aims to do, but using significantly less makeup and leaving most of your face untouched for a much more subtle and natural effect. This is going to cost $600 when it comes out, but I don't know, doing things the traditional way isn't exactly cheap either, from what I hear. So it'll be interesting to see if this catches on. The videos of it, it's like, yeah, sometimes you wake up and you look like shit, but you don't want to paint your face.
No, you get the shotgun that the Homer invented. I don't think people are going to enjoy getting shot in the face. Anyway, speaking of stuff at your face, look at this stupid air filter mask. Now, we shouldn't laugh. We're all probably going to need to wear air filters on our faces anytime we step outdoors in the near future. But the design here is hilarious and dumb. Basically, instead of how a normal air filter mask works, where you breathe through a filter that covers your mouth, this one is open air and transparent. The open air part works through air pressurization, so you're still only getting clean air, but this feels very over-engineered, and it's just to make your mouth visible. But we might not be laughing 10 years from now.
No, that's the thing. This is dumb, but
Australia needs it right now.
If you're in Australia, this might be appealing.
We live in Southern California. I mean, our air is not great, especially when it's fire season.
And it's always fire season.
So catch us wearing these next year or later this year.
Now here's something dumb from Samsung that can't possibly work as well as advertised. SelfieType. Basically, you just place your phone in an upright stand so the selfie camera can see your hands, and you just air type on whatever surface is in front of you. Just pretend there's a keyboard there and go to town. SelfieType knows exactly what your fingers are supposed to be hitting and transcribes your text perfectly. If that sounds too good to be true, well, Samsung didn't even actually demonstrate this outside of a concept video, so yeah, it probably is.
How am I going to use my emojis? That's my question. They're going to draw a smiley face?
Probably.
Stupid. No one's going to use this. God, focus on other things. Please. You're wasting your time with this shit. Anyways, the word cooler at this point makes us think of only one thing. The coolest cooler. But the Juno Cooler that was shown off at CES is actually pretty cool. Though, again, not something anyone really needs. Basically, it's a countertop appliance that you just drop a can or bottle of a room temperature beverage into, and within 2 minutes, that beverage is ice cold, like it's been sitting in the fridge for hours. It does this through something called thermoelectric cooling that we don't understand. But it's a cool trick.
Yeah, I mean, still easier to just put your shit in the fridge a few hours
the next morning, you put it in the cooler.
But hey, I mean, I guess if you're
in a pinch,
if you're rich and forgetful and thirsty, this is great.
The ice industry hates them. The old trick, if you're just trying to get it cold at your house real fast,
you wrap it in a wet towel,
wet paper towel,
put it in the freezer, and then
But don't forget about it.
Yeah, don't forget, you'll have a mess on your hands.
Yeah.
But it only takes like 10 minutes or so.
10 minutes, yeah. Yeah, you just wrap it with a paper towel, put the paper towel under the sink water, put it in the freezer, come back 10 minutes, you got an ice cold drink, baby.
Yeah.
But don't fall asleep.
Yeah.
Have a big mess.
Leave a note.
Yeah.
Set an alarm.
Anyways.
Yeah, so most importantly, CES is always full of a bunch of dumb robots, and this year was no different. We already talked about Bali, Samsung's naggy little narc robot. But now let's meet Rollbot, a new robot from the Charmin toilet paper company.
Oh, does it look like a bear?
Yes.
It does? Nice.
Yeah, Rollbot's sole purpose is waiting for you to take a shit after forgetting to replace the toilet paper roll. Instead of shouting at your roommate or significant other to bring you a roll, you just open up the Charmin app and you let Rollbot know that you need his help right now.
They are tracking your BMs.
And here he comes with a roll. Yeah, unfortunately, this Rollbot is yet another CES product that's not actually intended for mass production. It's just like half this shit is just April Fool's gimmicks. But he sure is cute, though.
I love that Charmin's like, the past 10, 20 years of their ad campaigns is just revolved around the phrase, does a bear shit in the woods?
Yeah.
Because it's just bears wiping their asses.
Bears just being like, I'm tired of wiping my ass with a fucking tree.
Oh, look. You see? It got little specks of paper all over my asshole. I need a better piece of toilet paper. Get a bidet.
Get a bidet, bear.
The bidets have been out. You don't need a Rollbot.
Bidets are insanely cheap right now.
Yes.
You can get one for like $30.
Mm-hmm. Now, over in Asia, robots that bring you stuff, they're very much a real thing already, like BellaBot, a Chinese robot for restaurants and cafes that carries orders to customers and has a cute kitty cat for its digital face. BellaBot even lets customers scratch on its ears and will purr with pleasure. But do it too long and BellaBot will get mad because you're interrupting its job.
I love that this is a feature. This is a very just Chinese thing. It's like, yeah, it's a cat. You can pet its ears, but don't do it too long.
It's got to get back to work.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got orders to
just
deliver.
knocks all the plates off your table.
Cold.
Yeah. Just like a real cat.
Now, if you're looking for a cat robot that's actually cuddly and not cold and lifeless, there's the Kubo cattail pillow, which is basically a soft, furry pillow that sometimes vibrates with a tail that sometimes wags.
You missed the emphasis on soft, furry pillow.
They love it.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah, this has been around for a while, but now there's a smaller kitten-sized Kubo as well, the Kubo Petite. Now, Kubo was designed mainly for old people who want a pet but aren't able to care for it, which is depressing as fuck to think about.
Yes.
But that's where we're all headed, folks. So maybe the furries are onto something. Just start them young.
Yeah, you'll always have a companion if you're a furry.
Yeah.
Anyways, there's also Lovot, whatever, a Japanese robot that its only purpose is to be cute and make you feel less depressed. It's not trying to emulate any particular animal, though it does kind of look similar to a porg. But yeah, it basically just follows you around the house like a pet dog would do, making cute little sounds and dancing and offering companionship in these crushingly lonely times. When you get out of bed and your robot wall starts telling you that you didn't get enough sleep, you're going to want this electronic pseudo-animal.
Yeah. Beep, beep. Look at me, I'm a cute animal.
It's all going to be okay.
You are cute.
It's all going to be okay. There's going to be so many of these animals just covered in blood splatter from people that blew their brains out.
Oh.
Anyways, this thing costs $3,000. It's currently only available in the capital of loneliness, Japan, but it'll make its way over here eventually.
Yeah. If our suicide rate goes up enough, you can expect to start seeing these on store shelves.
It'll call the police.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's sorry.
And in one final bit of CES news, Impossible Foods debuted their latest innovation in lab-grown meat, Impossible Pork.
Cool.
Yeah, so Impossible Beef has successfully swept the nation over the last year or so. So it makes sense that they'd now set their sights on another popular meat product that opens the door to a lot more options in the world of fake meat and tastes a hell of a lot like real meat. But to be clear, it's ground pork, so we're talking about stuff like sausages and dumplings, not pork chops.
Still good.
But Burger King has already signed on to sell Impossible Sausage breakfast sandwiches in select locations later this month. So I might have to go to Burger King for the first time in a decade.
There you go.
Last year was a terrible year for pork production. African swine flu killed around a quarter of the world's pigs in 2019, which is crazy. So yeah, this is very good news for people who love the taste of pork but hate factory farming.
Also, Jewish people.
Oh yeah, hey Jews.
Get stoked.
Yeah.
They already have fake bacon that's pretty good.
Also, this is step one towards like impossible bacon. They
already have Impossible Bacon, but I mean, it's not perfect.
The same.
Yeah, it's not. All fake bacon tastes like you left the bacon in the oven or on the thing for way too long. Like you've just burnt it to unrecognizable levels.
It's close, but not close enough.
They need to find a happy medium between bacon strips for dogs and bacon for humans, because the bacon strips, they have the flexibility and the consistency of the bacon.
Yes.
But you're eating dog food is the thing.
Yeah, not something everyone wants to do.
Anyways.
Dog food.
Finally, it's not CES news, but Elon Musk danced around this week, and we would be remiss if we didn't cover it. It's fun. At an event at Tesla's new factory in Shanghai this week, Musk got so excited about his prospects in China that he danced around on stage like a total dork.
It's really,
it's
a lot.
It's embarrassing, but whatever. He's having a good time. He clearly doesn't care what anyone thinks, and this is about as harmless as you're going to get Elon Musk.
And also, people are like, oh, this is the cringiest thing ever. No. You need to watch the Windows 95 launch from like 1995, where you got Bill Gates, Steve Ballmer, a bunch of other fucking boomer dorks all just like clapping out of rhythm to the Rolling Stones for way too long.
And the Qualcomm presentation.
Well.
Or a CEO.
They didn't dance in that one. I'm talking about dancing.
Okay, sure.
But yeah, CEOs are all dorks.
Yeah.
Elon Musk, look, if he embraces the dorkiness and stops trying to be cool, we will leave him alone.
Also, his girlfriend Grimes last night was like on a whole Twitter thread about how like she apparently had just discovered that the music industry sucks for independent artists.
Oh, wow.
It was like, we need to do something, This is like terrible. Indie artists can't even promote their music or distribute it. And I was like, there's never been a better time in history for an artist to make a name for themselves without any interaction with a record label. But I think Grimes
just found out about capitalism.
The idea that she has, if she, I think she's on to maybe creating her own incubator for independent artists. That's great. Good for her. Mm-hmm. If she could, if she doesn't understand what's been happening in the record industry for the past 25 years.
She seems well insulated.
So,
which is fine, but like.
Good for her. But it's never been easier to get yourself out there.
Yeah. I can literally record like myself taking a shit and put it on Spotify within the next week.
Yeah.
It's very easy.
Now, if she's talking about making some kind of better union for independent artists and getting higher rates from Spotify, then let's go for it. But as we all know, Grimes has changed her mind on unions very recently. So.
Yeah, real great.
But good for her for she's learning. And it's because Musk's out of town. It's in Shanghai.
Elon doesn't let me read.
Guys, have you seen this? I just left the house for the first time in 8 months.
Man, the music business is kind of fucked up.
You guys heard about this Billie Eilish?
Anyway, that's the... Jesus Christ.
What is that? That's a long TechNewsDay.
Longest TechNewsDay ever.
Yeah.
Be sure to watch our most recent episode.
No, first listen to the podcast. We did a new podcast.
Oh, yeah, we did a new podcast this week.
Head to the Patreon page or the community tab on YouTube and listen to that.
Yeah, and if you haven't already for some reason, new episodes of Weekly Weird News and last week's TechNewsDay.
Yeah.
Right over there.
Check them out. Subscribe. Bye-bye.
Bye.